And welcome back to the second game of our doubleheader. We're about 2.5 minutes away from tip-off. Alongside Jamal Chapman, I'm Dave Just, live at the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch. And now, Jamal, we have the men's team. It's going to be the York Cardinals against our Baruch Bearcats. And Baruch, has a lot of high expectations coming into the season. Preseason All-American. CUNYAC Echobar leading this preseason favorited CUNYAC winners, Baruch College. And I know, we're people just tuning in. We're sorry for the, we're about 10 minutes delayed due to some travel issues that pushed back the ladies' game. But a great opportunity here, Jamal, for the men to really come out and get a first conference win tonight at home.
Yeah, it's definitely a great night for the men's Bearcats to get off to a great start on conference play. Coming in tonight, we have leading scorer Tima Ekekobar with 23 points and averaging 12 rebounds as the team's leader. And also we have Gibbs coming in with 30.2 assists and as well as 1.4 steals.
I think a big thing to note is so far this season, CUNYAC Echobar shooting about 60% from the field, which at that rate is almost, I wouldn't say historic, but just, immensely successful from the field goal percentage, excuse me. However, Jamal, the rest of the team, only 29%, and tonight the rest of the team has to break out of that slump.
Yeah, it's very important that the team breaks out of that slump because, relying on only Chima to be able to be scored, sometimes you can fall comfortable with that and think that he's always going to be there to be able to give the offensive production. And he's doing a big job by that this season so far. But it's going to be imperative that the rest of the team get in there and be able to give him that same level of production to give a collective effort and be that team that they're slated to be this year.
So we're about 30 seconds away from tip-off. Real quick, Jamal, give me a couple things that Baruch has to do in order to beat the York Cardinals tonight.
Well, they need to see a good, solid offensive production from Chima tonight. They need to see a nice set of collective play from the offense, from the rest of the team as well. And coming out here and being able to battle with this York Cardinals and their length right now.
Yeah, York definitely has some size, but Baruch is able to add some size themselves. We're about 3 seconds away from tip-off. Let's send it over to the PA announcers for your starting lineups as well as the national anthem.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Arc Arena. Tonight's fantastic ball game with the Cardinals of York College and your Baruch College Bearcats. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Cardinals. And guard, a 6-foot senior from Queens Village, number 5, Edwin Sanchez. And guard, a 6-foot junior from the Rocks, number 10, Bill. And guard, a 6'2" junior from Brooklyn, 15, Blake John. And guard, a 6'8" junior from Brooklyn, number 21, Ryan Smart. And guard, a 6'4" senior from Brooklyn.
And let's get actually right into your starting lineups.
The assistant coaches, Tyrone Wilkerson, Nathan Reeves, and August. Now, tonight's starters for the Bearcats.
So tonight, for your Bearcats. So starting at center, number 33, Alan Villar. Starting at guard, number 2, Bryler Page. Starting at the other guard, number 1, Jack Sixsmith. The other guard, his brother, number 3, William Sixsmith, and starting at forward, number 32, averaging over 22 a game this year, Chima Ekekobar. So Baruch starting the season off 2-0, losing 3 straight out in Pittsburgh. Big game tonight, not only just to write your season, but also in conference. It's going to be a tough test here for the Bearcats.
A tough contest indeed, David. The Bearcats are going to have to look to come out tonight and play very well.
Losing 3 straight. First at Old Westbury, 79-75, excuse me, and then they lose 2 in Carnegie Mellon against Mary Washington and Chatham. Lost by 15 to Mary Washington and lost by 8 in a close game to Chatham. York College going to be going right to left in the first half, wearing their red away jerseys, while Baruch wearing their home whites will be going left to right. The tip is going to be between CUNYAC Ekabar and number 21, Ryan Smart, a 6'8" junior from Brooklyn. And now Jack Sixsmith has it for the Bearcats in the front court. Gives it off to CUNYAC Ekabar. Alan Villar has it up top. Grant giving him space. Now Jack Sixsmith has it. Bounce pass into Ekabar. He's covered by number 23, John Joseph. Into the paint. Bounce pass now into Alan Villar. Villar going with the right hand. High off the glass. Able to finish over number 21, Ryan Smart. Also in the game, Darren Dove. And right now, Edwin Sainville has the ball for the York College Cardinals. Dove, bounce pass over to number 15, Malik John. Back to Sainville. Sainville, offensive push-off, and it'll go back to Baruch. And Jack Sixsmith will have it in the front court. Gives it off to Alan Villar. Hand off to CUNYAC Ekabar. No, he overruns it, and it'll be now William Sixsmith. Sixsmith, open three. And he's able to knock it down. William Sixsmith and Coach Adams thought that was a little bit of a push-off by Ekabar, as it'll be John with the ball, and he'll give it off to John Joseph. He drives right on Ekabar. Nice block there by Alan Villar. Emphatic, and it'll be Jack Sixsmith quickly pushing it up to Bryler Page. Page into the front court. He drives, comes right underneath, looking for options. Bounce pass out to Jack Sixsmith. Goes right into the lane. Hand off to Villar, almost loses it. Gives it off to Ekabar. Ekabar, that's knocked away from him by number 23, John Joseph, and it'll stay with Baruch underneath.
But the Baruch Bearcats coming out of the gate, on 2 offensive possessions, being able to convert. Alan Villar with the layup down low, and also William Sixsmith with the 3.
And now William Sixsmith over Sainville. Three-pointer. That's a round and out. Rebounded there by Jean.
You're going to see a lot of three-pointers from William Sixsmith, as he is one of Baruch's best three-point shooters.
And a drive there by Dove is a little strong, and Ekabar comes away with the rebound. And Baruch off to a quick 5-0 lead here in the first minute and a half. Sixsmith has it. Gives it off to Ekabar. Over to Alan Villar now. Into Ekabar at the free throw line. He turns on Grant. Kicks it back out, on Joseph. And that's a travel on Jack Sixsmith.
Just try to stop himself right there on that play, but left that pivot foot.
You saw him regret it as the foot was moving. And costly turnover there by John Elise's Bearcats. And Sainville brings it into the front court for York. Gives it off to Dove. Dove now working on Page, takes the right screen from Grant. Grant now gets it, works on Villar. Villar takes one in the chest. Ekabar fights for the ball, and the foul's going to be on number 21, Ryan Grant. And that'll be Baruch's ball. 5-0 Baruch lead. A little over 2 minutes gone here in the first half.
Yeah, and Ryan Smart, that 6'8" frame going up against Alan Villar, but Alan Villar went straight up and was able to contest that shot.
And that's going to be an interesting matchup all night. We've seen Villar get the ball a couple times, able to finish over there by Grant. Nice right-hand move by Villar.
The same move he had in just a couple shots ago, with that right, just turning to the right and going right off the glass and able to convert for the 2 points right there.
You're going to see some big man action tonight, with Villar being 6'7" and Ryan Smart, being 6'8". As Dove has it now. Hands off to Joseph, and now Sainville has it for York. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sainville tries to drive. Fadeaway jumper, and that's going to be a travel. And once again, Baruch forcing a turnover, and Sainville wants to know where the call was.
It was right at that 1 second when he was just about to go up. You see that little slide right to the left side as he was going up for the shot. I think it was a good call by the ref there.
And now Jack Sixsmith will walk it across the timeline. He's picked up by Malik John. Now it's Ekabar into the paint. Jack Sixsmith out to Bryler Page. Corner 3. That's off. Fought for by Smart. And it's saying it went off Villar last. And that's got to be very interesting, because the way it went, it looked like it was Smart reaching for the ball.
Right, and you see Smart was actually in front of Villar on that play right there. It looks like the left hand stretched out a little bit and tapped it out, but the ref seen otherwise.
And Dove will have it in the front court for York now. And the tempo's been pretty quick here in the early going for both sides. As now Smart has it underneath, loose ball. He's down to his knees to pick it up. And he travels trying to stand up from a seated position. Can't do that. And that's actually surprising he did that, because that is some... They're going to talk it over. Hold on 1 second.
I guess they discussed it, but nothing came of it.
Yep, and it'll stay Baruch's ball underneath as Bryler Page has it now. Gives it over to Jack Sixsmith. Into the front court to Chima. Now Jack Sixsmith has it up top. He's on the Bearcat symbol. He's covered by number 15, Malik John. Drives right where Ryan Smart switches, and now it's going to be Ekebar working against Dove. William Sixsmith, bounce pass into Villar. Kicked out elbow jumper for Bryler Page. That's good. Wide open is Bryler Page on the elbow jumper, and it's going to be a timeout for Coach Nolan Adams and the York Cardinals. So with 16-11 remaining here in the first half, Baruch lead 9-0. A great start for them. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel Baruch Athletic Fan. And Jamal, this is exactly what you want to see. Baruch coming out strong. And it's been a variety of scores, not relying on Chima early. Alan Villar, 2 great post-up buckets, and you have to like some of the skills from the big man.
And especially going up against Ryan Smart of the York Cardinals at that 6'8" frame, doing the same move again, just going to the right, getting up the layup. You got William Sixsmith contributing with the 3, and Bryler Page just now with that 2-pointer. You got to love the production that you're getting from the Bearcats right now. You know, it's just going to free up Chima later on in the game when they can focus on the other players.
And when he has to be more of an offensive presence, because maybe some of the guys on the court are not your offensive stars. But right now you're talking about you have 2 shooters in the Sixsmith brothers. You have Bryler Page, who inside out is a very good player. And Alan Villar, not really known for his scoring. We've seen a huge block on the defensive end, but has 2 baskets against a guy that he's giving an inch to on the offensive side.
And also, the York Cardinals are playing really sloppy right now.
Yes.
On the offensive end. They're not playing at the level they need to play right now, and they had a lot of early turnovers often that the Baruch Bearcats were able to capitalize on, and they now enjoy a 9-point lead.
They're working on trying.
So with 16-11 remaining in the first half, Baruch lead 9-0. A great start after a couple of losses in this home matchup against the Cardinals. And Sainville brings it in to the front court, gives it off to Darren Dove. Darren Dove, a junior from the Bronx. He drives into the lane. Free throw line jumper is good. Able to knock that down and rise up between Sixsmith and Page.
That's always a good feeling when you come out of timeout and you're able to score some points for the York Cardinals.
It's also nice because Coach Adams was able to draw up a play there and able to execute in their first possession. Now Bryler Page has a bounce pass into Villar. They lose it though as John comes away with it. Gives it off to Grant, who's quickly, Ryan Smart, my apology. Ooh, Ekebar almost saves it. It goes out of bounds. He wanted that one. And nice play there by Ryan Smart, the 6'8" junior from Brooklyn, able to bring it straight into the front court after collecting the rebound. Very rare to see ball handling skills from a man that big. Sainville has it now for the Cardinals. Takes the pick from Smart, gives it off to Dove. Dove, right wing 3. Off back rebound. It's going to be Chimak Ekebar fighting for it. And it's going to say it went off the back wire, and it'll be Baruch's ball with 15:22 remaining here in the first half. William Sixsmith to inbound to his brother Jack. And they're already coming, you can see, with the full court trap is the Cardinals.
Anytime you get down in the game, the best way to come back in is just by causing turnovers.
And Jack Sixsmith, nice ball handling skills. We've seen a lot more of him playing on the ball handling guard this year than we did maybe last year, where him and his brother kind of played the off guard position.
Right.
Now Alan Villar inside, and he took too many steps before putting the ball on the ground. We saw that a little bit earlier from the York ladies team. The Baruch men will be ill-advised to repeat that.
Right. Don't want to have a repeat of ill-advised turnovers because that leads to just more opportunities for the York Cardinals down on the offensive end.
Number 15, Andre Harris, Baruch's second leading scorer this year, checks into the game. And number 3, Jamel Harris for York turns it over right there as he tried to bounce it inside to number 23, John Joseph, and it'll go back to Baruch.
And Andre Harris coming off the bench tonight is averaging 12 points and shooting 43% from the field. The Brubeck has going to need a big see some good production from him off the bench tonight.
And Sixsmith gets picked in the backcourt as he's fouled. I think that's going to be on the floor, and it's going to be side out here for York in front of the Baruch bench. But that could have been an easy layup there for the Cardinals.
Right.
Very sloppy there trying to break down that full court trap. And you have to know it's coming. You have to figure out a proper way to break it down. And understand you're going to need more men in the backcourt to create some passing opportunities.
But not even when you feel like you have to break it down, when you have an opportunity when there's now a turnover, you never want to give an opportunity to potentially go to the line for a three-point. You know, he blew a very wide open layup, but that could have easily been an opportunity for three right there.
You have to be very careful to not get that continuation.
Yeah. Oh.
Coach, Sainville has it now. Gives it off to Harris. Harris's floater is no good. Rebounds fought for. It's loose, and it comes away by number 23, Joseph. As York throw it away, that's going to be Jamel Harris' first turnover of the game. And definitely has to be a little smarter on the York end of the court, especially when you're trying to claw back into this early deficit. And Sixsmith has it, gives it off to his brother, Jack. Bryler Page looking for Jack Sixsmith. Andre Harris has it now right in front of the scorer's table and walks it to the middle of the court. William Sixsmith thinks about the shot. Instead, he puts it on the floor. Gives off to Bryler Page. Bryler Page's three. That's off front rim, no good. Rebound underneath by Chimak Ekabar. He gives it off to Bryler Page. He's blocked, I think, by a couple guys underneath. And it'll be York Cardinals ball, and they'll go in quickly into the front court as Sainville quickly drives, and it'll be Smart out to Harris. Harris's three off front rim, rebounded again by Ekabar. And he's looking for a passing alley, and then in the end decides to bring it into the front court himself. Nice crossover move there. Almost traveled. He said it was tipped, though. Corner three by William Sixsmith, no good. And Sainville brings it into the front court for York. York straight ahead. And they're going to say Bryler Page was in the circle, so that was going to be two shots. And the foul is going to go against Bryler Page, and it'll send York to the line for two shots.
There was a lot of back and forth on that play. You see the York bench jump up real fast when Chima came down there. Thought it was a travel there.
I think it was a good call. It looked like the ball did get tipped by the defender when he went up in the air. Not too much of a separation from the ball, but Edwin Sainville now at the line for York. He knocks down the first. Number 4, Anthony Gibbs checking into the game. Freshman out of Brooklyn for Baruch. Waiting to check in for the York Cardinals is number 22, Jonathan Jones. And Sainville able to knock down the second. And he'll come to the bench as Jones checks in for him. And Bryler Page has it now. He quickly gets trapped in the front court. It's Anthony Gibbs. He's looking for a passing option. Instead, he'll bring it to the front court himself. He's covered by John Joseph. Handoff to Andre Harris, working on Smart. Jumper over Smart. Looks like it's blocked, but Harris gets it back. Able to finish with the left hand. And if you're York, that's just an unfortunate play because he made the good defensive play, but he got it right back and able to finish with the left hand. And it almost caught York flat-footed. Ooh, nice pass there by Dove into Smart, but he's not able to finish as he caught the ball in midair trying to finish with a layup, and he can't. Chimak Ekabar's pass looking for Andre Harris gets tipped, and it'll stay with Baruch underneath. A dangerous pass, though, by Chima, almost intercepted.
Definitely with Ryan Smart right there on the other end. It has to be very frustrating, seeing being there at point-blank range. But another great opportunity for the Bearcats over here to convert that into some points.
Now Anthony Gibbs has it. He drives, kicks it out to Bryler Page. Bryler Page, corner three. Rattles around and in, able to knock it down. Nice play there by Anthony Gibbs to get into the paint.
The Baruch three-point players are on tonight, and they're putting up three-pointers, and they're knocking them down.
Baruch lead 14-4. Now Jones has it in the corner for York. Takes the pick. Dove has it up top. Hand off to Jones. Harris. And that's going to be a travel. And Coach Adams did not like that call. Again, it kind of looked like that ball was tipped. One call on the end for Chima did not seem like the did not seem to get it reciprocated on the other end for York.
And it's always frustrating when you don't get the calls that's happening on the other team.
So Bryler Page has it now. He's picked up in the full court trap, but Anthony Gibbs is able to bring it across the half court. And a three-pointer by William Sixsmith.
Back-to-back three-pointers for the Bearcats tonight. Bryler Page and William Sixsmith are putting them up, and they're knocking them down.
His second three-pointer of the evening so far. He's already taken 4 attempts from downtown. 17-4, Baruch lead as Benjamin Boateng comes to the bench to check in for the Bearcats. Oh, a nice play there. It's going to be number 22, Jonathan Jones, worked on Andre Harris, and he's able to hit the layup and one, and he'll go to the line for an old-school three-point play. As they say, he went over him.
You know, anytime you get a play like that, that's always one of those plays that could ignite a team just by just battling right there and getting that and one. So let's see what can happen for the York College, right? The York Cardinals.
And CUNYAC Ekabar rarely getting that first half rest. No points, but already 5 boards here in the opening first half.
Hey, but when your team comes in and plays an all well-rounded game with 6 points from William Sixsmith, 5 from Bryler Page, could afford to go to the bench and have a rest.
And honestly, the way the ball's moving right now, maybe now is the time to get him rest because you're not really relying on him for too much of the scoring load. If you can get him rest now, he'll be fresh for the second half.
Right.
Anthony Gibbs has it now. Gives it up to Sixsmith. Deep three. Off front rim. Rebounds batted around. It goes to number 4. Just checked in for York College. Tayshawn Forehand Jenkins. That is a mouthful. As Jones gets it inside. Able to finish again for the and one. Back-to-back potential and ones. And that's just sloppy defense there by your Baruch College Bearcats.
Yeah, sloppy defense, but just a very good play on the layup right there. To will yourself and get the shot for Jonathan Jones right there. Back-to-back plays. I know the York Cardinals over there on their bench, and they're jumping up right now.
And CUNYAC Ekabar quickly to the scorer's table as Andre Harris comes to the bench. Andre Harris, some sloppy minutes here. He has the 2 points, but he also has an early foul that led to the and one the previous possession. And Jones able to knock that down for the three-point play. 17-9, Baruch lead. And once again, York going with the full court pressure. Anthony Gibbs able to bring it into the front court. Bounce past to Bryler Page. Floater in the paint, he's able to hit. Nice move there, and that's the problem. If you can break down the full court press quick enough, you'll be right into the lane.
Yeah, and Bryler Page made them pay on that one with the nice floater. And now the Bearcats lead by 10.
Jamel Harris has it now for York. In the corner is Joseph. Swings it deep into the corner to Jonathan Jones. Dangerous cross-court pass, able to complete it, though. Jones goes straight up, and so does Benjamin Boateng. No call, and Baruch come away with it. And Chima slows it down. And you got to love the fact that Chima could lead the fast break. Now Bryler Page 3. That's around and out. Chima fights for the rebound. And that's again it went off. It looked like Forehand Jenkins, but they're going to say it was off Chima, and just the physics of it just does not make sense. Why would Chima be looking to hit it out of bounds?
And Chima definitely disagreed on that play, shaking his head as he walked back up the court to get ready to play defense.
Very interesting inadvertent whistle. It seemed like on the near side by the referee, so it'll be York ball side out, and Forehand Jenkins will have it for the Cardinals. And that's going to be an offensive foul. It's going to be a moving pick against number 23, John Joseph. And he thought, and he looked like, I mean, he was arguing that he got pushed there, but I didn't see it, and it's going to go back to Baruch. A couple rightful calls that maybe York should have had early on, but that one I actually agree with the refs.
That's what's going to happen sometimes. Sometimes you're going to get the call, sometimes you're not. There's going to be calls you're not going to agree with, but you just got to play on.
DeAndre Gibbs now checks into the game, number 10, as Baruch almost throw that one away. Very dangerous. CUNYAC Ekabar has it now in the front court, almost covered by the entire team. Sixsmith thinks about the three, one dribble. He does take the three, and he's able to knock it down. William Sixsmith able to hit a three, and that's going to be a delay game on number 25, Benjamin Boateng, his first. And Coach Alisi just wants him to leave the ball next time and not really do anything with it. I didn't catch it on the back end, but that'll be Boateng's first. Now Forehand Jenkins has it for York. Gives it off to Harris. Now to Jones, back to Harris, over Boateng, can't hit. Ball's batted around. And Boateng comes away with it. Chima over to Anthony Gibbs. Gibbs double teamed. And he'll slow it up.
See William Smith over there calling for the ball. I think he's filling it from 3 right now. He just wants to keep it. He just want to let it rip.
9 early points. I'm surprised they're letting him that wide open. Anthony Gibbs now drives. Ekekabar corner 3. Ooh, around and out. Very close there, dropping Ekekabar to get his first bucket, and you like to see him get in a little bit of a rhythm here in the early going.
I don't know if that one would have dropped. It definitely would have sent this crowd in a frenzy.
And comes right back the other way. John Joseph, a 3 for York, and a quick swing right there for the Cardinals. That's a 6-point swing. Oh, interesting play there.
Interesting, yeah.
DeAndre Gibbs almost threw it, looks like tried to throw a bounce pass. It got kicked ball, and he just gave up on it. York went to grab it, but they stepped out of bounds, and it'll go back to Baruch. Very fortunate for the Bearcats.
Actually, it actually hit it off the ref's foot on that play right there, because the ref was standing there in the area.
Yeah.
So at that point, you know, it's kind of hard. What do you do in that situation? I guess that's why they're talking right now.
And that's why they do not have a fresh shot clock, so it'll be 27 seconds on the shot clock. 9:06 remaining. Baruch lead by 10, and once again, York coming with the full court press. William Sixsmith quickly to DeAndre Gibbs. You got 2 Gibbs, 2 Sixsmith, but now it's Anthony Gibbs inside to Ekekabar. Ekekabar tries to go with the reverse, can't hit, and now it'll be Sainville up into the front court. Sainville gets blocked by Boateng from behind. Nice play there by Benjamin Boateng.
That's what you call not giving up on the blade. Benjamin Boateng flying in with the block from behind.
And from my point of view, he was one of the last guys back
Yeah.
because he was fighting for the rebound on the offensive end to come back full court and block him from behind. Very nice play there as Smart travels.
The sophomore is definitely earning his minutes tonight.
Limited playing time last year, but Benjamin Boateng in the early going, getting a good minutes here in his sophomore season here at Baruch. And Anthony Gibbs has it now. Bounce pass over to DeAndre Gibbs. He's double teamed. Ball past to William Sixsmith, tipped away, dangerous pass. Now it's Dove over to Sainville.
I think it's a good timeout by Coach Alisi.
Absolutely. Ooh, that was interesting. Player almost bumped into the ref there trying to high-five his teammates coming off the bench. And I think the coaching staff, and I think Sainville had a point there. It looked like he got tapped on the head when he went up for that layup. Maybe should have had a foul chance at a 3-point play, but Baruch right now lead, taking that full timeout, 22-14 with 8:32 remaining here in the first half. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. So don't forget to tune in a week from Saturday. It's going to be on December 9th at 2 p.m. Women play Old Westbury, followed by the men at 4 p.m. They play Moravian College. Here live on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan, and live at the Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch College. And Jamal, I didn't think I was going to say this. 11 and a half minutes gone, and Chima Ekekabar has 0 points, but 7 boards.
Yes, man, but that's the one thing, you know, maybe he's not putting in a lot of points right now, but his presence will always be felt every time he steps foot on that court.
And also, he's going to be, that means at some point he's going to be due, because if the guy's averaging over 20, he's not going to be shut out for the night, as Chima Ekekabar has it now. Swung to Jack Sixsmith, William Sixsmith, quick release, no good. Rebound fought over, comes away with forehand Jenkins for the Cardinals. Cardinals into the front court, kicks it outside. Darren Dove for 3. He's fouled and won, a 4-point opportunity. Nice play by Darren Dove, and that got some of the away fans off their feet here at the Arc Arena. And that's a sloppy play if you're Baruch, as Bryler Page and Alan Villar are quick to check back in. William Sixsmith and Benjamin Boateng to the bench, and the Cardinals have a great chance to cut it to a 4-point game right here.
Yeah, just so quick. You know, the Bearcats had such a big lead, and slowly but surely the Cardinals have been chipping away at it. And with that 3-pointer, with an opportunity for 4.
Nope, unable to hit on the free throw, though. And Anthony Gibbs gets the full court pass pretty much in the front court, but he's able to slow it up. Great way to break down the press if you just have the ball in the front court.
Right, David. I agree with you, man.
Anthony Gibbs now has it. Over to Sixsmith. Bounce pass to Bryler Page. Inside now to Villar. Villar goes strong, and he has the on-1 opportunity. And Alan Villar has been very impressive here in the first half.
The big man is showing them how to muscle up down there, finishing strong with that layup. Alan Villar with the size, 6'7", the sophomore, playing big minutes right now for the Bearcats. He has 6 points tonight. And on the offensive end is definitely making his presence felt.
And Villar will go to the line to get the old school and one. Old school three-point play. You gotta like what the big man's doing tonight. Already 6 points here in the first half. Off on the free throw, but an offensive board by Chima. And he's fouled on the floor, so it'll be, I think, a 1-and-1 opportunity for CUNYAC Ekabar. Oh, excuse me, it'll be side out. Sorry. Got used to the girls' game. I forgot it's not 5 fouls anymore. It's 7. It was 5 1/4. Now it's 7 for the half for the 1-and-1. So that was the 15th foul for the York Cardinals. Actually, both teams have 5 fouls apiece. Now, corner 3. It's going to be William Sixsmith. Around and out. Oh, man. 3 York Cardinals fight for the rebound, and it'll be forehand Jenkins into the front court.
I don't know if I'm William Sixsmith tonight. I'm just going to keep letting it fly.
They're looking good from our angle.
Yes.
And now the ball's out to Sainville. Now inside to number 14, Moses McCray, who just checked in, and he loses the ball. The ball's loose on the floor. And it's going to be a timeout call as forehand Jenkins hits the deck. It'll be a 30-second timeout for the York Cardinals, who trail by 7, 24-17, with 7.5 remaining. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan.
Even though on that play, the York Cardinals were able to get back the ball and call a timeout to retain possession, you got to like the activity from Jack Sixsmith almost coming up with the steal right there.
And definitely a little bit more sloppy play here, Jamal, in the last, I'd say about 2 to 3 minutes from Baruch. Once we hit that 10-minute mark, Baruch's looked a little bit uneasy. You're talking about, I think, 2-and-1 opportunities with a potential 4-point play. They luck out that they don't hit the free throw, but not the situations you want Baruch to put themselves in, especially when holding a lead like this.
Right. You just want to keep building on this lead right now. But you got to give credit to the York Cardinals right now. They're battling back, They're not just laying down and just taking this beating. They're coming back, and they're showing that they can stand up with the Bearcats right now.
And Sainville has it for York up top. He's covered by Sixsmith. He takes the pick from Jones, goes right into the lane. Blocked from behind by William Sixsmith. Bryler Page comes away with it, and he's fouled while coming across midcourt. Looked like a little bit, their feet got tied up a little bit.
No, and on Jack Sixsmith, he's just so known to be on that the three specialists and shooting the threes on defense, getting back and then not giving up on the play and able to get the block from the back.
Yeah, not really a big part of his game. He does have a tendency to get some steals, but blocks definitely not, especially from behind. And William Sixsmith has it at now as we speak. Bryler Page over to Jack. The starter's back in for Baruch as Chima has it now on the elbow. Bryler Page, backdoor corner 3. No good. Ball's tipped away, but Jones comes away with the rebound for York, and forehand Jenkins will bring it into the front court. He takes a pick from McCray. Now it's Darren Dove into the lane. Trying to go up over Villar. Can't. Rebounded there by William Sixsmith, and he'll slow it up as there's no trap this time from the York Cardinals.
Yeah, once you get into a point where you're like 7, when you're about down less than 10 points, you just want to get back and settle in your defense and just trust you guys out there. But let's see if the Bearcats can just break down their defense.
William Sixsmith straightaway 3, and he knocks it down. The man is hot tonight, and I don't know how you're leaving him open. That's his 4th 3 of the game so far.
And breaking down the defense, the Baruch Bearcats have been doing that tonight, and they've been exposing them. Right now, shooting 33% from the field. But William Sixsmith on that 3, 4 for 9 right now.
And I think only one of his 3 so far were actually contested, Jamal. If you look at, the one that was actually contested was forced here on the right wing. But if you look at the rest of it, he's been open pretty much every time he's taken a deep shot, which you can't do. We've seen time and time again, this guy can hit the 3, and we've seen him hit the 3 from way downtown. As Bryler Page now has it for Baruch. William Sixsmith into Ekabar. Up top to Jack, swings it around to Bryler Page. He'll drive. Swung back out to William. William again open, gives it back to his brother Jack. Jack from NBA range, able to knock it down. And now you cover one Sixsmith, you leave the other one open, and he'll hurt you just the same. 30-19, Baruch lead with 5.5 minutes to go here in the half.
It's like a barrage of threes for the Bearcats right now. Half of their field goals right now have currently been 3 so far, and they're shooting 37%. So that's good for the Bearcats right now. But getting back to what they was doing early and just kind of got some points in the paint should also help them expand upon this lead.
And Alan Villar looked like he might have rolled his ankle a little bit there as they were fighting for a loose ball, but it'll stay with York underneath. Gene Joseph checks into the game as number 5. Edwin Sainville comes to the bench for the York College Cardinals. Darren Dove to inbound underneath their own basket. McCray has it now in the corner. He's covered by Villar. Now Joseph over to McCray, working on Villar. Ooh, nice move by McCray, but can't hit.
Yes.
And it's going to be an offensive foul. Very interesting there. I think it's going to be on number 22, Jonathan Jones, but nice move there by McCray.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised he went up against Alan Villar, though, who has had a really good game so far, both on the defensive and offensive end.
Yeah, he had an unfortunate play having the rim out, but I think it was a definite call, good call by the ref right there on Jonathan Jones, who had the over the back when Chima was going up for the rebound on that play.
And now you're putting a guy who shoots over 70% from the line at the free throw line. I think there was a confusion on which shot clock we were using. It's the one behind the basket, not the one on the wall, and we're all good as the shot clock is correct. With 5:01 remaining, Baruch lead 30-19. Chima got Kabar at the line for the 1-1, and he's able to knock down the first and maybe get a little confidence here at the shooting the ball. He's actually not even shot the ball that much in this game. He's only, he only has 2 field goal attempts, which is way below his season average.
But when you got solid production from William Sixsmith, Bryler Page, and Jack Sixsmith, not being able to put up a lot of shots, you can focus on other things and being active all around the court, whether it be on defense, setting screens for your team, getting offensive rebounds, creating more possessions for your team. So he's staying much involved right now.
And it was a nice way to get that offensive rebound, but then poor passing on the offensive end for Baruch, and they turned the ball over. Darren Dove has it now. That's Baruch's 6th turnover of the game, and it's going to be a travel. It's going to be a travel on York as George Smith Jr. comes in for Alan Villar, and you got to be impressed what we've seen from the big man Alan Villar so far in the early going. 6 points, 2 boards, and an emphatic block. But the post moves, man, the post moves have been on point this evening.
Yeah, especially against Ryan Smart, those first couple of points that he scored, that was very encouraging, and I know it built a lot of confidence for him there.
And William Sixsmith has it now. He drives, bounce pass to his brother Jack. Sixsmith up top, working on, gives up to William Sixsmith, Bryler Page now drives. Bounce pass to Chima. Chima baseline jumper is good, able to knock it down off glass.
Chima's now first field goal of the game. 3 points, 9 rebounds. But having the big production from William Sixsmith, 12 points, Bryler Page 7 points, and another earlier 3 from Jack Sixsmith.
And McCray Moses. That's a blocking. Oh, he teed him up. That is a crazy call. He didn't even say anything to the ref. And I thought that was a charge. Chima was standing there for since the guy got the ball at the 3-point line. I think that was a poor call.
But the tech
on the refs.
But the tech though.
The tech, he just popped off the ground and walked away with his shirt on his mouth. It was an aggressive way he popped up, but he didn't say anything to the ref, and he didn't make any hand motion to the ref. I think that was a poor call, and I also think the fact that Chima might have been in the right there because of the fact that should have been a charge.
And definitely, Chima is not a person that like to argue a lot of calls, but, when he feels like a call is not gone his way, he just popped up. There wasn't any exchange between the refs, but the ref felt otherwise, didn't want to be shown up, and now we get a tee.
Yeah, Chima's first tee of the season, and, you can see he's disappointed in himself, but I think he was in the right there. And not even from a biased point of view. I think, honestly, he had his feet planted at the block way outside of the circle, and the guy literally did a spin move right into his chest. I think it should have went the other way, but Darren Dove will be at the line to shoot the technical. You have to wonder if that's a little bit of a makeup call there for some of the stuff that Coach Adams wanted to see in the first half from York.
Like they say, you're going to get some of the calls and you ain't going to get some of them.
I think Chima will come and have a seat, and that's probably the right call right here with 3:56 remaining.
Now they're just scoring over here at the scores table.
Yep, double checking what the call was and how this situation should be played out. And that's interesting because normally a technical is not a personal foul, but I think they're giving him a personal foul for that as well.
I guess they're still discussing it, but I guess you definitely hear the York Cardinals men's bench. They definitely want 2 fouls for that play on that play.
And all the refs are going to discuss it. Also, when can Andre Harris come in as a substitute? I think he has to do it between these 2 free throws rather than on the technical. Very interesting. So it's going to be now 2 personals on the same play for CUNYAC Eckelbar. And that's probably going to be his entire half because they're going to need him here in the second half.
Yeah, and the way the Baruch Bearcats have been playing tonight, they've been playing very well without him so far. You're going to need him for that second half when you're going to have that last half, that long stretch, the last 20 minutes. You're going to definitely need him. So it's just going to be up to the rest of the Bearcats on the floor to just continue to produce at the rate they're at right now.
And that's a 7-point swing if you think about it, because what it should have been a charge is now 5 points at the offensive end for the York Cardinals. Now William Sixsmith has it in the lane, and he takes too many steps, and that's interesting too. I didn't see the pivot foot move, but it'll be York ball right in front of the York bench. And Baruch have to be very careful not let us get away from him. This can easily get cut into a single-point deficit right here, and you have to really keep your composure and make sure that this doesn't hurt you, for the rest of the half as well as going into the second half.
Right.
As the ball is tipped away there by number 15, Andre Harris for the Bearcats. And it'll be York ball right in front of the Baruch bench. Is Joseph ready to inbound? Darren Dove has it. He's covered by Sixsmith. Crossover move. Takes the pick by Smart, goes right, gives it off to Smart. He's going to work on Villar. He loses the ball, and it's going to go back to Baruch. And, I mean, even then, Alan Villar, just being a presence on the defensive end, is a big body, and he definitely has a little more girth to him than Ryan Smart.
Yeah, and definitely he's been using that to his size, earlier being able to use his size to be able to make that right move and get those first early couple buckets against Ryan Smart.
And even Alan Villar's positioning there, I think, led to some of that turnover as well by Smart. As Andre Harris straightaway jumper is no good. Rebounded almost at the three-point line by Smart, and it's off to forehand Jenkins. I've been impressed with forehand Jenkins in the early going. Definitely a big hustle player, and some of the numbers that you're not going to see on the stat sheet. As McCrae's able to get the offensive rebound and finish, forehand Jenkins is able to do a lot of things. He's also the one that called the timeout on the scrap on the floor there before, so the York could save their possession. Jack Sixsmith trying to give it inside to Villar. Working on McCrae, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. And he'll send Alan Villar to the line. Alan Villar this season only a nice impressive 75% free throw shooter for the big man.
Yeah, that foul right there on Alan Villar sends him to the line. But you seen how the Cardinals bench jumped up just now. It seemed like that foul just even ignited them. Even though he's going to the line to shoot too, I guess they're loving the aggression from their players. But you got to love the fight in the Bearcats, not giving up.
And the Cardinals now must be even more happy because the Baruch's two leading scorers are now off the floor, in Harris and Ekabar. But honestly, the offense tonight has gone through Alan Villar for the most part. He misses the second, almost rebounded by Bryler Page, but it's Darren Dove into the front court for York. Now gives it off to Smart in the corner for Joseph. Not able to hit. Rebounds fought for. It's McCrae. He loses the ball, though. It's thrown away, but Smart is able to bring it down. Now it's Joseph. He drives, kicks it out to forehand Jenkins. Forehand Jenkins straightaway three. He's able to knock it down. Baruch lead 34-28, and this big Baruch lead has definitely been cut into. Jack Sixsmith has it. He's covered by forehand Jenkins almost up the entire length of the court. And you can hear the York College get excited, and Smart on the turnover. It's back to Smart. That was just silly. And that, I think, went off Smart last. That's very interesting. But the fact he threw an alley-oop that had no chance
of going down.
No chance. He would have to. He wouldn't even. The jump trajectory wasn't even correct. He was going towards the basket, and the ball was off the side of the backboard.
It would have had to been like Michael Jordan in Space Jam.
And even that, But honestly, very fortuitous for York because they get the ball back another possession. Jumper now by Smart is off glass, and I think they could have found a better shot there in that possession to cut the lead to 4.
But even on that play, Benjamin Boateng being there to contest that play.
Nice hustle play on the transition. And Alan Villar has it now working on McCray. Goes right into the paint again with that right hand. Can't finish. It's Boateng on the rebound. He can't finish. Rebound and fall for it. Villar thrown to the floor. He wants a call, but now it's forehand Jenkins into the front court for York. He goes straight up. The ball's loose. It's Smart. He's able to hit with the left hand, and a lot of banging around down there. And Baruch's lead is cut to 4.
And that was so fast, you know.
And York really feeding off their bench right now. Could be dangerous for Baruch. Hand off to Bryler Page. Bryler Page thinks about the 3. Covered by Dove. Alan Villar sings it to Sixsmith. Takes the pick from Villar. Goes into the paint. Sixsmith out to Page. Page right wing 3. That's good. It rattles it home, and that quiets the opposing crowd down just a little bit.
But that's a good way to stop that run because you see, I think it all started with that Moses McCray foul. You know, the team really got ignited, and they got a couple of good breaks just now.
Since the Chimo Technical, it's been a different York team. Even leading into that, I guess, a little bit, but that Chimo Technical really energized things as Darren Dove takes a straightaway 3. Able to knock it down with a hand in his face.
What a way to answer the 3 by Bryler Page.
And Baruch can hold for the final shot. Bryler Page will walk it up.
I think that's wise for the Baruch Bearcats. See if they could get some points right here and just close out this half.
And Darren Dove looking and takes the pick from Benjamin Boateng. Nice pick there, and Dove is down. Out to Jack Sixsmith. Jack Sixsmith, wide open 3. Can't finish. Full court heave is no good, but Darren Dove is down. And Darren Dove is still on the ground. He's holding his midsection, his shoulder. It looked like a clean pick, though, from Boateng. He just took the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Right in the chest. And it looks like he's getting a little talking to from the trainer. It looks like he's holding his arm.
Yeah. You don't know if it's
he
his
walks
wrist,
off.
his shoulder, but we'll find out.
And after one half, Baruch 37, York 33. And Jamal, it's really been a tale of 2 almost like quarters, if you want to say, because the first 10 minutes, Baruch come out to a big lead. They've had the lead the entire half, 1938, so almost the entire half. But you can't like the last, maybe I'd say 5 to 6 minutes of this half.
No, not at all if you're John Lisa, because once Chima went to the bench, right after that, that's where it seemed like the Bearcats started to not play as big as they usually do. The York Cardinals during down the stretch of that, the last 4 minutes, started to play very tough defense. It started to feed off the energy of which they were getting. And so far, the Baruch Bearcats right now, they have leaders. The leading scorers right now for the Bearcats are William Sixsmith with 12, Bryler Page with 10, and Alan Villar with 7. Sixsmith and Page are currently shooting. Well, William Sixsmith is shooting slightly under 50% from 3, and right now Bryler Page has also put up 2 3-pointers as well, rounding out with 10 points.
Smith.
They played good with a lot of the role players giving a lot of contributions, but they're going to look for Chima Ekekobor in this second half.
He's got to
come out big and put in a lot of work.
Have to come out big. You're talking about a guy right now averaging over 20. He already has his boards. I mean, he has 9 boards in the first half. You know he's going to get his. However, you need him to come out a little bit stronger, and, he'll be the first to tell you that was probably a bonehead play, him getting that technical, because it's really sparked this run from York, and as a leader of the team, he just can't afford to do that. But offensively, he really hasn't gotten into a rhythm. You're talking about a guy who only has 3 shots here in the first half.
But even though he hasn't been able to get into an offensive rhythm, the other good things that count, he's been doing. 2 assists, 9 rebounds. He's been contributing to this team in a big way. Although he may not have been able to put up a lot of points, his team has picked him up big time. William Sixsmith with 12 points, Bryler Page with 10, and Alan Villar with 7.
And if you can get what you get normally out of Ekekobor, you can really blow this thing open a little bit. What you got to do is prevent York from hitting the threes because they're right now shooting a solid 57% from downtown. And also, when you got to hit your own free throws. You're only 2 of 5 from the line. Granted, not a huge sample size, but you got to hit them. You got to shoot at least 60-80% from the line out of those 5.
And I think one thing they have to do as well is slow down Moses McCray. He's had
a huge impact coming off the bench.
Coming off the bench and playing down low, he's played physical. He's been able to get a lot of offensive rebounds for his team, a lot of defensive rebounds, and having right now 7 points and 4 rebounds. He's their second leading scorer.
In only 8 minutes of action, so you got to limit him. But he's been a huge spark plug off the bench. Been impressed with him and been impressed with Forehand Jenkins off the bench for York, too. A lot of the stuff that we said is not going to show up on this stat sheet, but it's going to show up in the result of the game. You talk about it diving on the floor for loose balls. He called a clutch timeout to save York possession before when he was almost about to be tied up. And defensively, he's been at the energy picking up the point guard from almost 3/4 court on numerous occasions and always pretty much picking up from at least half court.
Definitely the York Cardinals are giving the Baruch Bearcats everything they can offer tonight. But although the Bearcats have a 4-point lead, let's see how they do when they come out of the second half.
If you're Coach Alisi right now, what are you saying to this team?
Guys, we have to get back to what we were doing in the beginning of the game. We have to figure out a way to get inside to the paint because so far half of their shots have been three-pointers, although they have made them, but majority of the field goal attempts that they have been three-pointers. So I think getting back to a mixture of getting back inside, probably feeding Alan Villar a little bit more.
Maybe him and Chima could work off each other a little bit more because Alan Villar is a very good passer.
But also getting him on situations where he's going against Ryan Smart because he could use that size to then get around him to potentially get some layups.
Yeah, I was actually been very impressed with that matchup, and Alan Villar has been doing very well. You're talking about Ryan Smart right now, who, just coming into the game, we thought was going to have a solid game. He has two points. He also has 2 boards, but on the defensive end, you see it a little bit with 2 blocks and 2 steals in only 12 minutes. Big thing, though, we said it, Chima has to come out strong and set the tone from the early going. We were actually very fortunate enough this past week to sit down with the big man from Baruch College.
I'm sitting alongside senior forward for the Baruch men's basketball team, Chima Ekekabar. How you doing tonight, Chima?
I'm doing great. Good to be here.
Thanks for sitting down with us tonight.
No problem.
So, second-year team captain, coming in one of the preseason All-American favorites. With a roster of majority underclassmen, how have you and some of the other veterans on the team really prepared the younger guys for the upcoming season, knowing that you've kind of been around the block?
Well, basically, we've just stuck together since the season ended last year, really. It didn't end how we wanted to, and so we had a good off-season back all the way in April and May, and then in the summer, we got in here a couple of times to work out, and then we had a great preseason pretty much every 5 times a week. We were either doing shooting or in the weight room, and then we always after practice on weekends we get lunch together, so we're just staying together. We're all on the same page. We all want to win a championship, and we just talk a lot, communicate, and then guys like Bryler and Billy, and Jack Sixsmith, some of the other guys, they've done a great job as well, just talking and keeping the guys together. We're all on the same page.
Excellent. And, obviously your senior year, and you've been on some pretty good Baruch teams, going a couple of conference championships. How would you say this team, and you're deep, you're the deepest team since 14 and 15, I believe your freshman year?
Yes.
How do you feel about this team compared to maybe some of the other teams in your earlier years here?
Honestly, top to bottom, I feel like this is the most talented team we've had so far. Basically 1 to, I think it's 17 deep. Everyone can play, and everyone can definitely come in and impact the game. So Coach Alisi, he has a tough job. He can only play 5 guys at a time, but I think anyone can play multiple positions, come in, step in, and have an immediate impact in the game, even if they're young or haven't been here, as long as I have.
Something I noticed maybe a little bit last year coming into this year is you have a lot more versatile bigs who can cover maybe multiple positions.
Right. Guys like George Smith can play the 4 or the 5, and Matt Grossman, he's been playing well. He's taken a step up this year. His jump shot is looking good. And our new addition, Andre Harris, he's a stretch forward. He's not really a 5, but he can definitely come in and help us rebound and stuff. So, yeah, we have a lot of versatile bigs that can pass and shoot and do a lot for us.
Gotcha. I'm going to throw a number out to you, and tell me if it means anything. 1,573.
Honestly, it doesn't mean anything. That's the number, I believe, to become the all-time leading scorer. That's the all-time leading scorer record at Baruch.
Yeah.
And that's kind of in the back of my mind. Really, I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and get some W's for the team.
Yeah, I assume it's something that's kind of brought up to you at least a lot. Remarkable achievement, and I guess when it comes, it'll be in passing along the way to what will hopefully be a very successful season.
Right. Honestly, it's something that after this year, when I'm done, and I look back, I'll just be like, wow, that's really an amazing accomplishment. But right now, I'm just kind of trying to take it day by day and live in the moment and make sure we're getting better every day.
So as one of the captains this year, and I guess, with some of the other upperclassmen, I guess in your eyes, what would you consider a successful season for the men's basketball team this season here at Baruch?
Honestly, we all want to win a championship. It's no secret here. And we were picked #1 in the conference by the CUNY poll. And we expect to live up to those expectations. We want to win a championship, and we want to go out. I know I want to go out with a championship, and so do the other seniors.
So not too many personal expectations, more just team-oriented.
Yes, sir. Really, I just want to hold up that trophy at the end of the year, and then be at the top of CUNY where Baruch belongs.
Get yourself a nice NCAA berth in the process.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hopefully, we win a couple games there too. That'd be great.
Well, Chima, I do appreciate the time. Thank you very much. This has been Chimak Ekabar, senior forward for the Baruch men's basketball team.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
And welcome back to the men's game. It is halftime here at Arc Arena on the campus of Baruch College. Baruch lead 37-33. Don't forget to come out next week or tune in to YouTube channel Baruch Athletic Fan as we have a doubleheader. The women play at 2 p.m. on Saturday against Old Westbury. The men play at 4 p.m. against Moravian College. And it should be a nice little doubleheader here, but we still got a lot of action tonight here, Jamal.
Yes, we do tonight. You know, the Bearcats, leading by 4 points, are looking to come out here in this last half and walk away with the win. But it's going to take a big effort from the whole entire team to be able to do that.
And definitely focus, which I would say the Bearcats lost a little bit late in the first half.
No, I definitely agree with you on that one, David. They really have to come back now and get focused and bring all collective efforts together. So far, we've seen a big contribution from the starting five. We have 12 points from William Sixsmith.
All from downtown.
10 from Barla Page. And 7 points from Alan Villar. And Jack Sixsmith and Chima Kekoba coming in and contributing 3 points.
Yeah, and you got to – York, the biggest thing for them is if Chima starts going off, then that's when you can get into a situation where it could be dangerous because, you know, the guy averages over 20 for per game, and right now he only has 3 points in the first half.
Yes, and most importantly, you want Chima to now come out into this game and give a little bit more offensive production. You know, he's always been there for the team, and he's the leading team scorer. But tonight they really need him now in this second half. And with 2 fouls, you're going to see how he plays, if he's going to come out and be aggressive or try to fill out and just pick his spots as he goes through the game.
And that's not really represented well because he got both those fouls on this very same play, taking a blocking foul and then popping up and getting a technical. What is interesting is that York, on the other hand, has to just feed off that energy because they, for the last 5 minutes, have definitely been the more energetic of the two teams.
Definitely, definitely. And especially ending off the quarter the way they did, they came out just gonna said after early on that Moses McCray foul where Alan Villar was able to go in and actually hit the free throws. It seemed like it sparked something on that team, and they were able to cut the lead down to 4 points.
Yeah, Baruch had the lead at 1 point at 33-19. It's been a 14-4 run for York ever since then, and we are moments away from the inbound to restart the second half. It's going to be Joseph, Smart, Dove, Malik John, and Sainville for York. And for Baruch, it's going to be Ekekabar, Villar, Bryler Page, and the 2 Sixsmith brothers, and it'll be York's ball on the far side as Joseph gets ready to inbound. First inbound was tipped away by Ekekabar, but York get the ball right back. Oh, nice block there by Alan Villar as Joseph tries to go for the reverse layup. And William Sixsmith brings it in the front court for Baruch. It gives it to his brother Jack, and he'll slow up the offense. Hand off to Ekekabar. And we'll see right from the beginning how aggressive Ekekabar as Alan Villar gets in. You want to see Ekekabar definitely in that post a little bit as he sets up there now. Working on John. Step back jumper. Able to knock it down. Nice move there over Malik John. And you're talking about a guy that he's giving him 4 inches in John.
Definitely, and we see Ekekabar answering the call after getting the early pass and extending the lead to 6 for the Bearcats. Now has 4 points.
Darren Dove looks a little bit better after we saw him hobble off the court after he took that hard pick. And it's Joseph now for 3, able to knock it down right with Bryler Page all over him.
Yeah. John Joseph right now has 6 points and all coming from 3-pointer.
Ekekabar has it now in the front court for Baruch. Gives it off to Alan Villar. He's looking for his options. Give it off to Jack Sixsmith. And now again, bounce pass into the block, working on Joseph. Ekekabar step back, able to knock it down. And what do we talk about, Jamal? Ekekabar coming out strong. 2 buckets on the first 2 possessions. He's up to 7.
Yeah, definitely want to come out aggressive, and he's looking for his shot early. And now he's definitely putting in a lot of points right now.
Joseph has it now. He's working on Chima. He loses the ball. Chima knocks it away. It's Sixsmith on the picks up the loose ball and gives it off to Jack Sixsmith, and he'll bring it into the front court. Sloppy game here in the first 2 possessions by York as Jack Sixsmith brings it into the front court. And smart move there by Jack Sixsmith as he was almost trapped by the sideline. So with 1:45 gone here in the second half, Baruch called timeout. Baruch 41, York 36. You're watching Baruch Basketball live on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. So with 18:15 left, we talked about it at half. Ekekabar has to come out hot. What does he do? First 2 possessions, feed him on the block, let him go to work, and work he's gone to.
Yeah, getting 4 points early in this second half, and they're going to need him to be aggressive to be able to pull this out. You know, the team has put in a lot of work, and now he feels I feel like at this point you should feel confident and know that your troops are right behind you.
Yeah.
They put up a lot of points, so now you just need to come out here, find your game, and just let it fly.
And it's been over John Joseph both times. You have to be interested if York is going to start double-teaming Chima in the block. And if he does, that could lead to some nice outside shot opportunities for Baruch. William Sixsmith come around a handoff from Chima. Chima working on Sainville, gives it inside to Alan Villar. Alan Villar working, right hand. Gets blocked by Smart. Nice play there. And that was the first time we've seen really Smart hold his own against Villar in this game. Sainville has it now. He's covered by Sixsmith. Smart now inside. He's going to work right on Villar. Left hand, no good. Rebounded by Sixsmith. He almost gets it knocked away from him. And the Sixsmith brothers bring it into the front court. Now Chima has it on the Baruch symbol. Right inside. Chima look for options. Give it off to Jack Sixsmith. Over to Bryler Page. Chima trying to post up. And it's going to be no basket, but it's going to be a foul. The foul's going to be on the floor. It's going to be on number 10, excuse me. That's going to be Darren Dove. His second team foul so far, and it'll be Baruch's ball inbounding as Jack Sixsmith is underneath the Baruch basket. And you got to like how Chima's getting involved so far on the early go. Now Chima has a right wing 3 right off the inbound. Ooh, off front rim. Can't hit.
I don't know, he had that look in that hand in the air like that one is falling right in, but it just felt just short.
Malik John loses the ball on the crossover. Nice defense there by Ekekabar, and you're seeing a little bit of aggression here from him in the second half. Now Bryler Page, baseline, trying to bounce it inside, but it's kicked away by number 23, John Joseph, and it'll stay with Baruch underneath with 24 on the shot clock.
See, I definitely like that play by Bryler Page, you know, not settling for the shot there and just trying to find Chima down low, trying to get the ball to the basket.
With these two bigs, you should be trying to get it down low as often as you can with Chima and Alan Villar on the court.
Got to utilize their size.
Now Alan Villar has the ball. He hands it off to William Sixsmith. Pass over to Bryler Page, looking for the Jack. Jack Sixsmith now bounce pass into Chima, and he's covered by Joseph again. Trying to get it into Alan Villar. Saved by Smart. Now Joseph has it. Full court heave. It's up to John, and he's Malik John able to lay it in and cut the deficit to 3. 16:53 remaining here in the game.
Both of these teams are doing battle right now, and they're both exchanging baskets, and they're not giving up.
Jack Sixsmith bounce pass to Chima. Chima gives him a pick. Probably should have given it right back to him. Did not, though. Went with the floater. No good. William Sixsmith able to fight for his own rebound and get it back. Bryler Page has it now. He puts it on the floor. Covered by Dove. Jack Sixsmith gives it up to Chima. Hand off to Bryler Page. Bryler Page takes a pick from Chima. And it's thrown away now. Intercepted by John. John going the length of the court. Can't finish with the right hand as Ekekabar comes away with the rebound. Nice contest there by William Sixsmith.
Nice contest right there, just altering the shot just a little bit. You see Malik John wanted to get a little fancy there. He kind of blew the layup.
Sometimes the open ones are the easiest, even though you have to force it a little bit. William Sixsmith, deep 3. No good. Rebounded by Ekekabar. And he's got a one-on-one matchup if he turns around. He's going to work on him. And he's fouled. That's going to be on the floor. But I think he wanted the team to clear out.
Give him a little bit of spacing.
I think when he first got the rebound, because his back was to the basket, I don't think he realized how much space he had until he was made aware of it and was able to start, working on that post move. Obviously, the foul's good, and it'll be Baruch's ball underneath. 2 early fouls here from York. And William Sixsmith right off the catch and shoot, right off the inbound, and it's good. And, of course, it's a 3 from William Sixsmith.
Yeah,
his 5th of the game. Sorry, Jamal.
No, it's fine, man. He's definitely letting it fly tonight. He is feeling it, and he's shooting better. He's shooting just a little bit over 50% from three-pointer.
Dove has the ball, almost loses it. Jones has it now. Smart working on Villar. Nice crossover move by Smart. Reverse layup. Wow, nice move there, and able to finish with the left-handed reverse. Alan Villar caught a little off balance there. Shifty big man and Smart.
Smart realized he couldn't go ahead and just bang with him, so he stepped back a little bit, had the crossover, and found his way to the rim.
And nice bounce pass by Bryler Page. Chima's jump shot's a little long, and Darren Dove will come away with the ball for York. And he kicks it out to Sainville, who's able to hop step into the lane, uncontested. And Coach Alisi wants a full timeout with his team only now leading by 2. At one point, they were up 14 in the first half with 14:48 remaining in the game. Baruch 44, York 42. You're watching Baruch College basketball live on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. So it's been back and forth here in the second here, Jamal, but not necessarily the start Baruch wanted. Maybe the start for Chima that he wanted, but not as a team as a whole.
Yeah, right now, the Bearcats only, got 4 points and a three from William Sixsmith, and from Chima you only have 4 points. So like right now, they're trying to find their flow and find some more cohesiveness as a team. But right now they're trying. But the York Cardinals right now, they're putting a lot of pressure on both ends of the court, and they're making the Baruch Bearcats work for every bucket, and that's what's been able to get them to cut the lead and only down to 2 points.
And if you're Baruch, you definitely want to see a little bit more from the defensive end. Right now, you're talking about you're letting a York College team that's shooting 44% from the field, but more importantly, 62.5% from downtown.
And that's what you don't want right now.
And it'll be Baruch's ball. They'll have to go the full length of the court. Anthony Gibbs and Andre Harris have both checked into the game.
Coach Alisi looking to shake it up.
That also moves Chima to the 5. Anthony Gibbs now has it. Sainville on him, going to cover him the full length of the court. Over to William Sixsmith. Hand off to Andre Harris. Like to see a little bit from him in the second half. William Sixsmith, 3 ball. That's no good. Looked like Chimac Ekabar kind of bumped into 2 guys, and all 3 of them fell, leaving Sixsmith open for the 3. Now Dove quickly the other way. And it was blocked by Andre Harris. It looked like it went off Dove last, but it's going to stay with York underneath. Nice defensive play there by Andre Harris. Sainville up top. Into the corner for Dove. Dove pulls up over 2 defenders. No good. Way short. And it'll be William Sixsmith bringing the ball up quickly. Anthony Gibbs, who gets it across half court. Ekabar now on the cymbal. To William Sixsmith. Into Andre Harris. Harris working on Smart now. Bounce pass inside to Sixsmith. He's fouled. And William Sixsmith will go to the line.
You like the cut by William Sixsmith, but more importantly, him being aggressive and not settling for the 3, but making his way into the free throw, into the paint, and going for the layup.
William Sixsmith this season, only a 67% free throw shooter. Able to knock down the first and extend the lead to 3. And Sixsmith is good on the second. 4-point lead. And Sainville has it in the front court for York. He gives it off to Joseph. Forehand Jenkins checked into the game for York. He has the ball now. Sainville takes the screen from Smart. Smart pulls up, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound tipped around, it's forehand Jenkins. Ball still loose. 4-4 by Gibbs. He throws it on the ground. It's Bryler Page. He's able to finish with the left hand. Nice smart play there by Gibbs to just release the ball, no travel, and you know Bryler Page was sprinting down court. Now Sainville gets into the lane. He throws it away. It's William Sixsmith, gives it up to Gibbs.
That's just being
and he's
aggressive.
Fouled by number 4, forehand Jenkins.
Andre Gibbs right now is in every single play right now. That last play on the floor, giving up the ball to Bryler Page.
Dove on the floor the play right before, not to cut you off there, but yeah, he's been giving you great hustle minutes here in the second half.
And that's what you love. You know, anytime you can make a substitution and you have a player come in on the court, you want them to bring high energy and just their hustle. And so far, it's been paying dividends for the Baruch Bearcats right now.
And that's what you expect from some of your backup guards. Give you hustle, give you, lack of turnovers. As the shots arid there, and he's able to, and York's able to come away with it. And it's going to be a block again on Bryler Page.
I don't think no basket, though.
Yeah, I think it was outside. It's going to be a block. And it's going to be York's ball underneath. That's very interesting, though. A couple calls today that looked like they were going to be charges against York have actually gone York's way.
I thought he was set there on that play, but the refs thought otherwise, and their thoughts is the only one that matters.
Jamel Harris has it now for York. He's calling out the offense. Out to Joseph. Joseph loses the ball. Nice play there by Sixsmith. Sixsmith going end to end. Ooh. He's blocked on the other end by Joseph. Nice recovery there by John Joseph.
I think Joseph was a little angry about losing the ball on that play.
Yeah, nice. That's a few times we've seen William Sixsmith really make a hustle defensive play. He had the block in the early half, and then that one as well, going up against the bigger guy. And there's going to be a foul before the inbound. Foul's going to be on number 23, John Joseph. And it'll stay right underneath. That's already York's fifth foul. A couple more, and they'll be going to the line. Baruch will. And Anthony Gibbs inbounds right to Harris. He gets blocked from behind. That was interesting. That looked a little clean. I could see them having a gripe, York having a gripe with that one. Foul's going to be on number 21. Ryan Smart, the big man.
Yeah, Ryan Smart not having the usual game.
4 points, 3 boards. But also has 3 blocks and steals, but that's also his third personal, so he must be careful moving forward. Andre Harris at the line. Misses the first.
And Andre Harris being the third leading scorer on the team. He's a 67% free throw shooter. And let's see if he can knock this one down just to extend the Bearcats lead just a little bit further.
Ryan Smart checks out. And Moses McCray, the man we talked about earlier, definitely giving us some hustle in the first half. Couple key plays for York's resurgence is now in the game. As forehand Jenkins brings it into the front court for the Cardinals. Gives it off to McCray. Ball's loose. And Chimak Ekabar comes away with it. Gives it off to Anthony Gibbs. Cross-court pass. William Sixsmith open three. Ooh, around and out. And it's going to be Jones on the rebound. He gives it off to Harris. Harris into the front court for York. Gives it off to Joseph. That looked like he almost slid his feet there, didn't Harris? And it's going to be an offensive foul on York. Foul's on number 3. Jamel Harris on the push. It looks like a moving pick. And Alan Villar quick to check back in for Baruch as Bryler Page comes to the bench.
All right, you like this lineup right here. You got Andre Harris is 6'6", Chima who's 6'5", and Alan Villar is 6'7", so they're looking to use the big mans right now.
And Baruch already in the bonus, a little more than 12 minutes remaining in the game. This could be a huge advantage if they're able to hit their free throws. Anthony Gibbs, bounce pass to Harris, right wing. He dribbles, Joseph on him, back up to Gibbs. Up to William Sixsmith, back out to Andre Harris. Harris drives, floater, air ball, Ekabar on the rebound. And Ekabar in the paint, and he's getting fouled. The foul is going to be on number 22, Jonathan Jones, and that's going to send Ekabar to the line for a 1-and-1. Ekabar leading the team so far in the early going, an 88% free throw shooter, having a solid year at the line. In 32 attempts, he's knocked down 28. he's able to knock down the first. And this is the guy you want at the line. And for York, this is the guy that you would find all ways to not put at the line. And he's able to knock down the second, a 9-point lead for the Bearcats. Inside to Moses McCray once again. Nice pass there by Jamel Harris. And it'll be Anthony Gibbs to walk it into the front court. Chima has it now right into Villar. Alan Villar into Andre Harris, able to finish.
Andre Harris is on the board now, 5 points. The Bearcats are definitely coming together right now in the last couple minutes. Got the lead back up to 9.
And Moses McCray working on Villar to no avail. Ball's loose. McCray gets his own rebound and he goes up and he'll get fouled.
Moses McCray definitely coming back into the second half, following up what he did in the first half, and definitely bringing the energy. Alan Villar was not having any of it, so we're going to see him go to the free throw line and see if he can knock down these two.
Way off on the first. Barely hit backboard.
So it was a good contest by Alan Villar. You're going to see if he could knock down this shot right here. But you got to like the energy from the Bearcats. They are playing good right now. On the offensive end, they're looking for each other. And on the last couple possessions, they've actually been able to convert and get some points. We got a lane violation.
Lane violation on York, and that's even a better foul by Alan Villar because it was only his first, and they go 0 for 2 from the line. Anthony Gibbs has it now for Baruch. Crossover move. Chima has it now, gives it to the corner to William Sixsmith. Alan Villar, nice spin move. He's fouled. And Alan Villar looked like he said something to the ref there after he got fouled, but Chima quick to rush over and calm him down. I think he wanted a couple calls earlier in the game, did not get. That's the 9th foul on York, and they're 1 foul away from being in the double bonus, automatic 2 shots for Baruch.
See, that's all about leadership right there. When you see your player, you know one of your players right there, you go over and you talk to him, tell him, all right, let's cool out, you got the foul, let's go to the line, let's make some shots, let's increase this lead, let's stay focused.
Especially for a guy who's shooting 75% from the line for a big man. And on top of that, that's his 9th point, so they're going to need him down the stretch, not only offensively but defensively as well.
Hey, man, he has a touch around the rim and at the free throw line. Alan Villar's playing a good game tonight. Ooh. 8 points and 3 rebounds.
Dangerous cross-court there. Pass there by Harris, almost tipped away by Gibbs into our lap. As Sainville has it now. Picks up his dribble, gives it off to Harris. Lack of movement on the offensive end there by York. You see a lot of guys standing around. Moses McCray, spin move against Villar, very sloppy. The rebound by Smart, nope, off his hand, and it'll go back to Baruch. Almost had the 4-step, but if you noticed, number 22, Jonathan Jones, was pretty much standing at the free throw line, not moving at all, and you had the, I believe it was Harris on the far side doing the same thing. It was pretty much a 3-man offense right there as Darren Dove is quick to come back to the scorer's table after visiting the trainer, and almost the turnover there by Anthony Gibbs as Chimak Ekabar is able to wrestle it away. Now Andre Harris has it. He almost loses, but Chimak Ekabar comes to it again. Andre Harris drives, kicks out. It's going to be Anthony Gibbs, corner 3. No good. Harris on the rebound. And you want to see Baruch slow it up right here, and they will. Anthony Gibbs has it up top. Smart play there by Andre Harris, not just to get the offensive board, but to slow it up and help Baruch get a fresh 30. Gibbs out to Ekabar, thinks about it, turns it away. Poor pass there by Ekabar, and Harris comes into the front court. Excuse me, Sainville gives it off to Harris, who's able to knock down the 3. My apologies. And they're able to cut it to an 8-point game, 55-47. Baruch lead with 9:31 remaining in the half. It's been very back and forth, Jamal. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. I mean, you know, This has been an extremely entertaining game here.
Tell me about it. You know, the Baruch Bearcats getting up, having a couple good offensive stretches, and then the York Cardinals coming back with a solid 3 just now to cut the lead down to 8 points. So, you know, you got to love how this game is going right now, but you also have to love the energy that the Baruch Bearcats are bringing, because with the substitutions that they're bringing in, you know, you had Anthony Gibbs coming in and just being aggressive on the onset. You know, Alan Villar coming back in, converting 2 free throws, and Andre Harris starting to get in the flow of the game. So right now for the Bearcats, as long as they can keep flowing together, keep consistency as a team, you know, they could potentially hold off the York Cardinals, as they are not going away, and they are not going away at all. They're continuously fighting.
And it's wild. For a guy who has 0 points, I think we've mentioned Anthony Gibbs' name a ton tonight, because the fact is he's done all the little things. He's hustled for the loose balls. He's won 50-50 balls. He's made plays on the defensive end. He, like I said, on the last possession, he almost tipped one right into our lap. York was able to, you know, hold on to it before it went out of bounds, but on a dangerous cross-court pass. And he's been our primary ball handler here in the second half. William Sixsmith now has it. He's covered all the way out by the 6'8" Smart. Gives it off to Andre Harris, quickly into the corner. Chima thinks about the 3. He's double-teamed. Now Sainville on him. Smart's been pretty much going around the entire court. Andre Harris now drives out to Anthony Gibbs, left wing 3. That's going to be short. The rebound's going to be fought for. And that's a weird foul on CUNYAC Ekabar. It looked like they were just fighting for a loose ball.
You know, anytime a defender sees an opportunity to tap the ball, you know, may go for it. But, you know, now that gives them 3 fouls. But now with 10 minutes in the game, 9 minutes left in the game, you know, you just see how he plays going out through the rest of the game, you know?
Yeah, 3 fouls. I mean, at this point, and it's not terrible.
Right.
You know, if they could make sure this game stays in regulation, they'll be good to go. Forehand Jenkins now gives it off to Sainville. He takes a pick left from Moses McCray. Hand off to Darren Dove. Dove working right, working on Sixsmith. Crossover move, gives it to the corner, forehand Jenkins. Hand in his face by Gibbs. Another mention of his name as he's able to close out the shooter, and William Sixsmith quickly brings it into the front court. Chima has it now up top for Baruch. Over to Bryler Page, thinking about the right corner 3. He was open. Bounce pass to Chima. He's quickly double-teamed. They look like they've been flying around so far, the York defense lately, in this 3-2 zone, and they're playing Ryan Smart up top with his length.
Just so he can see if he can get some stolen passes just now.
Anthony Gibbs gives it off baseline to CUNYAC Ekabar. Shots off, and that's going to go back to York with it. Baruch lead by 8 with 8:17 remaining. And Alan Villar quickly off this bench again, and Chima's going to take a breather. I can't imagine this being for very long, though.
No, you're going to definitely want to get him a breather. You know, want to give him a couple of minutes. Maybe at the 7-minute mark he comes back into the game. But that's all going to depend on how well the Bearcats play, you know. If they could.
And that's going to be a foul on number 15, Andre Harris. I think it's going to be over the back, or it looks like he put. Oh, they're saying put over the back.
Yeah, if the Bearcats right now could definitely keep up offensive production, you'll definitely see Chima stay out just a little bit longer. But if this score starts to go down a little bit, you're going to see him have a quick rest.
And I've been impressed with Andre Harris this season so far, but I feel like he's been a little bit inconsistent today as Dove now drives for York.
Yeah, he's definitely not playing his game tonight, but, you know, 5 points and 2 rebounds. He's usually averaging around 12 points a game. So let's see if they start to call his number right now.
As Edwin Sainville knocks down a 3 for York, and that dangerous pass there. Forehand Jenkins gets it. Bryler Page, a horrible pass. Ryan Smart able to lay it in, and it's cut to 3. And Coach Alisi, all he can do is have his hands up because that was a terrible pass. He just floated in the air for a jump ball. Anthony Gibbs now, and for one of your upperclassmen, that's definitely what you don't want to see. Bryler Page, bounce pass outside. Andre Harris gives it up to William Sixsmith. In the corner to Page, right underneath to Villar. He's fouled and can't finish, and he's a little frustrated on that. Nice entry pass there from Sixsmith.
Anytime when you have an opportunity at a point-blank range shot and you know you couldn't finish it, you know it's always frustrating. But so far tonight he's been 3 for 5 from the free throw line. And let's see if he could go to the line and convert these two and extend the lead to 5 points for the Bearcats.
Now Villar able to knock down the first. When you have a big guy like that that can shoot free throws, it's always clutch because you know he's going to go to the line, especially when he works in the paint the way he does.
Right, and definitely, you know, just fouling him won't just help you out, you know.
And Alan Villar able to knock it down.
Because not only is he a threat on the offensive end, he's also a threat on the defensive end.
Darren Dove quickly into the front court. Bryler Page on him. Gives it off to forehand Jenkins. Inside to McCray. McCray triple team, then he traveled. That was sloppy. He almost got in there too deep with his back to the basket, and he couldn't go left or right because he was basically triple team. They had the perimeter man also close in on him.
Plays like that, that's why the Bearcats have this lead.
And I've been very impressed with McCray here so far this game for York. He's definitely been a bit of a spark plug off the bench. William Sixsmith has it now.
You could definitely tell that's their toughness down in the paint.
Bryler Page over to Chima. Thinks about the corner three. Puts it on the floor instead. Kicks it out to Bryler Page. Gibbs inside. Quick pass to Chima. Nice pass there. Bounce pass to Andre Harris. William Sixsmith over to Bryler Page. Bryler Page's three. Woo! Oh, what a shot by Bryler Page. That almost hit the roof.
Whoa.
And that gets the Baruch bench up.
That's how you shoot up a three-pointer. That was a rainbow shot, and that one found the goal.
And now Darren Dove trying to work on Bryler Page himself. I think this got him a little bit energized on the defensive end. Bryler Page now on Sainville. Into Smart. Smart working on Chima. Kicks it back out. Forehand Jenkins. And the foul is going to be on number 3, William Sixsmith. Pushed off with two hands as John Joseph checks back into the game. And also Alan Villar quick back into the game as Chima now comes to the bench.
That play just now, just a minute ago, you know, he shot that ball up. You didn't know what was going to happen, but once it hit the bottom of that net, you should have seen the whole crowd erupt.
Bad pass through the middle of the paint. And William Sixsmith able to come away with it for Baruch. Gives it off to Harris. Harris. It's Bryler Page again for the three. That's high, no good. Rebounded by Joseph for York. He quickly brings it left to right while calling out the play. Sainville gives it into the corner. It's forehand Jenkins, kicks it back out to Sainville. He's quickly closed down by Sixsmith. And he hits the deck hard as he goes up against Alan Villar, but Ryan Smart's right there to put it the putback. 60-54, Baruch lead with 5.5 remaining in the game.
Yeah, good contest by Alan Villar right there, but couldn't do nothing with Ryan Smart there to clean up the missed shot.
Not enough weak side help on the boards there. That is the convenience of having Villar and Chima on the Ekekabar on the court at the same time because you're able to use them both. Ooh, nice move there by Alan Villar. Goes around and out, working on Ryan Smart, and he's hit a few of those tonight. As Darren Dove gives it inside to Joseph, is able to get the and one. And that's the second or third time we've seen Gene Joseph get that play and go to the line for a potential and one.
But for Alan Villar, that has to be very frustrating because the play like that just a minute ago when he was down on the paint and had Ryan Smart locked off, that was what he was finding early on in the game, and I was able to get him a lot of points. But just now, you know, just the frustrating to come back down the court and then to get the foul and a potentially three-point play, it has to be frustrating for Villar.
And Alan Villar will now come to the bench as Ekekabar checks back in. Very interesting rotation. I would like to kind of see them both on the court here in the final few minutes at the same time. 3-point Baruch lead with 5 minutes remaining. It's going to be a great finish here at the Arc Arena. Stay tuned. We have a very lively crowd today. You know, only York's in Jamaica, Queens. Definitely, you know, an easy train ride to get here. And packed bleachers here at the Arc Arena.
And they came all the way out, and they're representing their York Cardinals, but the Baruch Bearcats fans are here, and they're making their voices heard. It's a great game. A lot of back and forth. The crowd is in it.
And Anthony Gibbs gets to go to the line to shoot 2 to try to extend this lead to 5 with 5:03 remaining here in the ballgame. He's off on the first, and these are clutch free throws. We talked about it. Baruch shooting a nice 73% now from the line, 11 of 15, 11 of 16 now, excuse me. Anthony Gibbs on the second, he's able to knock it down. Edwin Sainville now to walk it up the court for York.
4-point lead. Under 5 minutes to go. This is primetime basketball.
Joseph pulls up on Ekekabar and unable to hit the three. And Andre Harris comes away with the rebound. Anthony Gibbs, nice, able to bring it into the front court. Ooh, almost loses the possession there. Kicks out Bryler Page. Corner three, able to knock it down. Bryler Page, some clutch threes, and now they have to get back on defense before York can get in the transition. They're able to set up. And it seems like every time Bryler Page hits a three like that, he's even more aggressive on the defensive end.
And he's currently leading the team right now with 18 points and shooting just a little bit under 50% from three-pointer.
And Ryan Smart's hook is no good, and Anthony Gibbs walks it up the court. Crossover move there on Edwin Sainville. Once again, Ryan Smart on the end, and it's going to be Sainville. Looks like he pushed a little bit in the back. Coach Adams, you could definitely hear a little bit of frustration in his voice when talking to the referees here.
Yeah, definitely trying to figure out what he should do. But Anthony Gibbs staying aggressive tonight. 3 assists and 1 point, but all the little things that he's been able to do so far that's not shown up in the box score has definitely been beneficial for the Bearcats tonight.
And he's able to knock down the first. Anthony Gibbs shooting almost 72% from the free throw line, and he's able to knock down the second. 72% from the free throw line for the season. And forehand Jenkins will walk it into the front court for York. Calling out the offense. Wants a little bit more movement on the offensive end. Forehand Jenkins into the paint, kicks it back out. It's going to be Darren Dove into the paint. And the foul's going to be on number 4, Anthony Gibbs. So it'll be Dove going to the line for 2 shots and a chance to cut this game back to 7. So just as Baruch kind of extend that lead from 4 to 9, some free point opportunities for York College.
No, definitely some free points, but that one definitely looked like a charge. But the Red Stars otherwise, but now the lead cut down to 8.
Jonathan Jones checking into the game for Edwin Sainville for the Cardinals. Dove able to knock down both, and 66-59, 3:55 remaining in the game. We can see a nice finish here, Jamal, here at the Arc Arena. Anthony Gibbs walks it across the timeline. He's picked up by Jones. Hand off to Andre Harris, covered by Smart. Sixsmith now, deep three, over forehand Jenkins, no good. Chima fights for it. Him and Smart, and it's going to go off Chima last. And it'll go back to York. Big possession here for York, opportunity to cut it to 5.
And cut it to 5. You know, we're going to see what the Bearcats can do right here and see if they can come up with a stop.
I like the defensive lineup they have right now. We're talking about a very athletic team with Gibbs, Harris, Bryler Page, and Chimac Ekabar, and also Sixsmith, who could close out on some perimeter shooters, and we've seen some really nice defense from him this evening. Definitely more defensive lineup right now in for Coach Alisi.
Definitely right now. And a smaller lineup, you know, not utilizing a lot of the big men. Probably want to go with a little bit of speed right now. And speaking of not having utilizing big men, here comes back Alan Villar.
And this is actually the change I wanted to see. I liked what Harris was doing, but I want to see Ekabar and Villar on the court at the same time. I think that's been right here. This our starting 5. I think, well, even if you include Gibbs, who's played most of the second half, the 4 and Gibbs has probably been our most effective lineup this evening so far. And Dove able to knock down the first of the 1-and-1. Cuts it to 6. And he's able to knock down the second, gets the friendly roll, and it'll be a 5-point Baruch lead. Nice move there by Gibbs to get in front of Dove, so Dove was unable to, shielding the ball from him. Bounce pass to Ekabar now, left wing, inside to Villar. Will Villar work on Smart? He will. He puts the ball on the floor. That's going to send Villar to the line. The foul is going to be on number 21, Smart. His 4th foul.
And that's good for the Bearcats right now because Alan Villar is 5 for 7 from the free throw line with the opportunity to hit 2. Let's see if he could convert.
And 6 for 8, right on his 75% season average, and a clutch free throw from the big man.
He's been definitely playing big for them right now at the free throw line tonight. And Baruch altogether has been shooting 74% from the free throw line.
And Alan Villar knocks down the second as Andre Harris quick to come back in, and Villar will go back to the bench. And I could see Villar definitely getting a few more minutes here late in the game. With only 3:10 remaining, Baruch leads 68-61. Forehand Jenkins has it now. Gets a pick from Jones, doesn't use it, gives it off to Smart. Smart over to Dove. Dove covered by Bryler Page. Joseph almost gets in Dove's way. Smart, step back jumper, able to hit it down. 3-pointer from the big man. And it's a 4-point game.
Ryan Smart has not had a big game on the offensive end, but now in the waning minutes is now coming through clutch.
And Baruch almost turned over as Bryler Page comes up with a loose ball. Andre Harris has it. Bryler Page takes the pick from Harris. He drives. Hits the deck hard, able to get it to go down. Oh.
Andre Harris touched the rim.
Oh, man, that is I mean, it looked like it was going to roll out for a second, but that's a big play. I wonder if his touching had any influence on the ball dropping.
Yeah, I know, but it's just unfortunate on that play right there because Bryler Page went hard to the rim on that one.
Dove, right wing three. No good. Rebounded, fought for. It's knocked around.
Got it over the back. Oh, wow.
And the foul's going to be on Chimac Ekabar, and that's a big foul because that sends Forehand Jenkins to the line for an opportunity at a 1-and-1, and he has a chance to cut this deficit to 2. Chimac Ekabar, honestly, tonight has been at the wrong end of some poor calls, I believe.
I know, and right now that gives him 4 fouls on the night.
And the shot's no good. He can't hit it. Bryler Page comes away with the rebound, and he's fouled. And Bryler Page comes up holding his leg. Fouls on number 4, Forehand Jenkins. And it'll be 2 shots for Chimac Ekabar. And as the leader of the team, for Bryler Page. And the same goes for him. As a leader of the team, you want him to hear him hit some free throws. He's shooting 90% from the line this year, going 19 of 21. Make that 20 of 22. And these are some clutch free throws here by Bryler Page. He's off on the second. Only his 3rd missed free throw of the season. Baruch lead by 5 as Sainville has it now for the Cardinals. Hand off to Smart. He pulls up over Villar. Not able to hit. Rebound it's fought for. Battling underneath. It's going to be a jump ball. And it's going to go back to Baruch. And Alan Villar quick to come to the bench as Ekabar comes back in for the offensive possession. Gene Joseph as well for York as Edwin Sainville comes to the bench for the Cardinals. And every time there's a call made, there seems to be 70, 75, 100 refs in the stands. So. And that's very interesting because that was almost identical to what Chima got teed up for before.
Right.
That spin move. And he even pounded his fist, which I think was a little different. And Chima didn't even make an arm motion.
But I think it's very important when it's certain refs, they have certain leeway with certain things. So maybe with that ref early on in the game, maybe he didn't like the jumping up.
Because that was
unfortunate.
Almost the turning point of this entire game. I mean, you could very see the way that York played afterwards as Anthony Gibbs off on the first. The way York played afterwards, you know, was a team with a lot more passion, a lot more heart as Joseph comes to the bench. Clutch free throw here by Gibbs to make it a 6-point game.
Bearcats could really use this free throw right now.
Minute 44 remain at the Arc Arena. Anthony Gibbs able to roll down the second one. It's going to be a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout for Baruch as Benjamin Boateng comes to the table to check in. Very interesting. We haven't called his name in the second half. So with a minute and 44 left, Baruch leading in a very thrilling game, 70-64. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. And before this, the women came out, won by 22 against the Lady Cardinals, 66-44, on the back of Shannon Barrett, who I believe had 32 and 14. So, you know, if you can make it a clean sweep for York, and, you know, it's been great because we talked about the injury problem she had coming in. It's nice to see that she was able to, overcome that and really dominate. But, we still have a lot of basketball here left, even though it's only 1:45 on the clock. Baruch leads 70-64.
And especially with a 6-point lead, you never know how this game is going to go. But I'm interested to see the substitution of Benjamin Boateng and see what he's going to bring to the court. So when he's been on the court tonight, he's played very well. So we just look to see what he's going to bring as he comes back into the game now.
Nick Ekabar not having the game he normally has, 9-13, definitely his lowest scorers game of the season. But we talked to the coaches before the game, and coming into this game, Chima was shooting 60% from the field. The rest of the team only 29%. Things a little switched today. Chima only 3 of 8. However, the team as a whole shooting 39%. So it's good to see that some of those role players came up and stepped up. Bryler Page, a William Sixsmith, and Alan Villar all in double figures tonight.
But it's always good when you have a solid team around you that pick up on the offensive end when you're not having a great night. So it's always good to have good troops behind you that can rally with you.
And Darren Dove hits an open 3, wide open 3. He's able to cut it to a 70-67 game, 3-point game with 1:27 left. John Alisi wants another timeout. Can't be happy about that defensive stop. Lack of defensive stop. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. Jamal, we're going to have ourselves a finish.
Yes, we are going to have ourselves a finish. And right now, with the Bearcats only being up by 3, this offensive possession right here is going to be very critical because it can either set them up on defense to get back and feel strong and be able to get a good stop, or it may put their backs against the wall because the York Cardinals are coming and they're not stopping with Darren Dove with that 3-pointer on the last possession.
And if you're coach Nolan Adams of the York Cardinals, you got to love the way your team fought back. Being down 33-19, Baruch's only scored 37 points since that point. So it's a 3-point game after Darren Dove's 3. And Baruch's going to come out with Gibbs, Harris, Chimak, Ekabar, Bryler Page, and William Sixsmith. Probably one of their better lineups they've had on the floor this evening. On the other end, it's going to be Forehand Jenkins, Sainville, Jones, Smart, and Dove for the Cardinals. Inbound to Page now. Gives it up to Harris, trying to get the steal to Smart. He's out of position. Now it's Bryler Page, and Baruch slows it down with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. 1:18 left in the game. Bounce pass to Chimak Ekabar. He thinks about the shot. Working one-on-one with Smart. Able to bring him back out to the three-point line. He drives right. Kicks it out to Sixsmith. Deep 3. Able to knock it down. 3-pointer, William Sixsmith.
Okay. William Sixsmith with the 3-point on that play. Oh, they better close out, though.
Now Forehand Jenkins jumper. He's able to knock it down. Cuts it back to 4 with 54.5 seconds. Coach Adams wants a timeout for his Cardinals. Baruch lead by 4. You're watching Baruch basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. But Jamal, what a 3 by William Sixsmith. That was, and I don't use this lightly, Steph Curry range, way beyond the 3-pointer.
You got to give a big shout-out tonight to Bryler Page and William Sixsmith, who's been letting it fly from 3-pointer and has been coming up big for the Bearcats in big spots where they need it. Bryler Page had that 3-pointer, that rainbow shot over Ryan Smart, and that contested 3 just now by William Sixsmith to push the lead to 6 points is what the Baruch Bearcats needed. And now with this possession that they had, we know that the York Cardinals came down and scored 2 points. But right now, with 54 seconds left in this game, this possession right here could probably win it all for the Bearcats.
Yeah, and you're talking about a team that has not had the lead yet. However, they are very close to getting their first lead of the game. With less than a minute left here in the game, it's going to be a great finish. 4-point game. Baruch leads 73-69, 54.5 seconds left. And it's going to be the same lineup for Baruch. And it looks like it's going to be the same lineup as well for York. And it'll be Baruch's ball. They have to go the full length of the court. Inbound to Gibbs. He's trapped over to Bryler Page. And he's fouled by Forehand Jenkins. And Bryler Page, these are clutch free throws right here. You have to go to the line. You have to knock these down if you're Page.
Definitely, and like coming in tonight as a 90% free throw shooter, pressure bust pipes, and we're gonna see if he can hit these two right here.
He was only 1 of 2 last time he came to the line. He's off on the first.
That's tough right there. He really gonna have to make this one right here.
This is the biggest shot of his game so far. Wow. Misses both as Jones comes away with the rebound. Not expecting that from Bryler Page.
The Bearcats just need to get back on defense and just stay in front of their man.
Yep, and he has to let that one go. He has to forget about it. 3-point ball. That's off. Rebounded by Ekabar. Out in front to Harris. And he's blocked from behind. And it's going to be a foul on Ryan Smart. That looked like a clean block from behind, but it's going to send Andre Harris to the line.
That could have went either way. I don't know if you pull up right there to kind of milk the clock, but that one, lucky thing he was able to get the foul call on that one, because that could have easily been a block.
That would have been dangerous too, because that would have probably sent a transition offense for York.
Right.
They could have got guys running up court.
I guess they're talking right now. Is that 5 for Ryan Smart? That is 5 for Ryan Smart, and he's done for the night.
11 points, 6 boards, 3 blocks, 4 steals, and a trio of turnovers. But not a bad game. I think maybe coming in I expected a little more out of him. I didn't know he had the step-back three-point ability, which we saw late in the second half. But all around, not a poor game. Very, very, very impactful on the defensive end.
Definitely definitely using that size. We're talking about 6'8", lanky, tall frame.
And Andre Harris able to knock down that first clutch free throw.
And I think that's been the big thing for the Bearcats tonight. They've been able to hit their free throws when it matters, or at least get to the line to get the opportunities to be able to hit these free throws.
And he's off on the second again, and it'll go again. Baruch just killing themselves with this free throw shooting.
They just have to get back on defense and just be ready.
5 is not insurmountable at this stage of the game. So
no, not at all.
York will have it, and they'll set up, and Baruch will quickly get back on defense. It'll be Dove, crossover move on Page, step back. Nope, doesn't take the shot. Forehand Jenkins puts it on the ground. It's going to be Sainville. Gives it out to Dove. Dove pull up 3. That's way short. Sainville able to hit, and his. And the foul's going to, that was a very interesting, sorry for the delay. Have to hear what the ref's call was. It's the basket's going to count. It's going to be 74-71, but Andre Harris going to the line to shoot 2.
I mean, at that point, the York men don't have anything to be arguing about, because even if he scored that 2 right there, they would have to foul to send him back to the free throw line.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the person they wanted to foul.
It's really not a bad situation because they take no time off the clock.
Right.
And the refs are now going to discuss it to see what happens here. Because, I mean, it looked a lot worse. Andre Harris kind of got up quick, but he was holding his head when he first hit the floor, and he hit the floor hard. That was a Shannon Barrett type of fall.
Hey, that's a good way to sell it.
Yeah.
But good for him that he's all right, and they can continue with the game.
So with 14 seconds left, Baruch lead by 3, but Andre Harris will be going to the line. You're watching Baruch Basketball on YouTube channel, Baruch Athletic Fan. And then they're going to call the 2 coaches over to discuss what happened. They're going to send the team back to the benches and just tell the coaches what happened here. Yet all the coaches seem kind of interested.
We're going to find out in a second what's going to be the call.
I wonder what's going to happen here. If it's going to be, are they discussing a flagrant? Are they discussing side out? What's going on here?
I don't know. The anticipation is mounting, but now we're going to figure out what's going to happen.
They changed it to double fouls. And it's going to be a foul against each of them. So it's going to be, I believe, Baruch's basketball underneath. So they may have a little time to waste some clock here. A couple seconds should come off.
But now the situation is different because the York Cardinals now have to apply a lot of pressure to potentially cause a turnover. Because now, where you had them shooting 2 shots, now it's a different scenario where the Baruch Bearcats is even harder now because they have to get the inbounds in.
Malik John just checking into the game for York Cardinals. But he is able to use the entire baseline here to run back and forth, so they're able to create a little bit of space here. We'll see what happens. Bryler Page. And they're going to, Baruch's going to call timeout. Smart play there by Page. I think he actually had another second or two, but there's no point of risking it, especially in this situation. Nope. You can't get the inbound pass right away. You gotta, call the timeout. However, that is their last timeout. So this inbounds right here has to get inbounds.
And you have to get it to somebody who's going to be able to go to the free throw line and knock down some free throws. But the York Cardinals, they're not going away, and they're applying the pressure on the Bearcats. So it's going to be interesting, and we'll see what's going to happen on this play.
So Bryler Page came into the game as a 90% free throw shooter, but he's 1 of 4 from the line. Would you prefer him right now, or you want Chima at the line to close this game out?
I want either Chima or Bryler Page at the line right now, even Alan Villar.
But even with Page shooting only 25% from the line tonight, or you think the law of average is just going to,
I mean, I believe in the average, He's been shooting good from the three-point line tonight. I thought it was interesting, one thing to bring up, how the referees brought the coaches over. See, like in that situation right there, they could have easily decided the game. They're gonna let the coaches and the players determine the outcome of this game and not end on any type of controversy.
And I don't disagree with that call. I could see where their legs were tangled up. They both hit the deck, and Jonathan Jones had a legitimate gripe in arguing that decision in the first place. The ball is inbounded to Sixsmith. Give it off to Chima.
Good.
Chima gets fouled right there, but 5 seconds coming off the clock. Way too much time if you're York.
That's a solid play right there for the Bearcats. Smart by William Sixsmith to gather up the ball and kick it over to the wide open man Chima, and just to wait for them to come and foul him. And now Chima, who's an 88% free throw shooter, has an opportunity to put this game on ice for the Bearcats.
Get caught up on your own words there, Jerome.
Yes. Sometimes I fumble. Sometimes I get nervous because when it's a 3-point lead, you never know what's going to happen in these games, and the anticipation mounts.
Oh, and he misses the first one.
You see?
You have to hit one of these right here, Jamal. You have to cut it to make it a 2-possession game.
You have to, but this is why you get nervous sometimes,
You're not playing, though.
It doesn't matter. I'm calling this game. I got to make sure the fans are excited about this. This is important.
And Chima at the line for his second and try to make it a 2-possession game. Interesting, Boateng coming to the bench to check in for Baruch. They've used him a couple times late here. He's off on both, and York calls a timeout, and they'll have a chance for the final shot. And you're talking about now your two captains, your two senior leaders, both going 0 for 4 from the line.
This is going to be interesting right now. We don't know if it's going to go into overtime, but the York Cardinals have to get a three-pointer.
Who you want the ball in the hands of if you're Coach Adams?
Wow, let's take a look tonight.
I'm thinking Darren Dove, maybe.
Dove,
yeah.
Or even John Joseph. He's been 2 for 4 tonight from three-pointer.
And you get one shot at this.
You only have one shot at it, and if you miss it,
I think you have to take it as quickly as possible in the game clock, because if you do miss it, you want the chance to foul, because we've seen Baruch not hitting their free throws.
Or even have an opportunity to get the offensive rebound. But right now, not having Ryan Smart on the court really hurts you, because that's somebody with a lot of size who could be able to get the rebound, if anything.
Offensively.
Right.
Yep. And they'll have to go the full length of the court with 8 seconds left. Baruch leads 74-71.
If I'm the Baruch Bearcats right now, I'm giving up I'm giving up the lane for the two-pointer, but I'm guarding that three-point line.
Gene Joseph to inbound.
Whoa!
It's turned over. Ekekemore lays it in, and Baruch have to get back. It's inbounded to forehand Jenkins. Pull up 3 over Harris. He's able to knock it down. 1.8 seconds left. Inbound to Page. He's fouled with 0.9, and this continues to be interesting. 2-point game. Baruch lead. Forehand Jenkins hits a nice pull-up 3, but on the other end, you have to be wondering what Joseph is doing. Throwing a pass behind Jamel Harris, who's not able to corral it right into the waiting hands of Chimak Ekabar. And he's not going to miss the layup.
And that's always tough. You fought so hard for a game like this, and to have it potentially end on a play like that could be crushing for the York Cardinals right now, because they battled their heart out right now to get back in this game.
And Bryler Page is off on the first.
If I'm Bryler Page, I may miss the second.
He has to hit this one. You got to make sure that a 3 does not win this game, because even if you get a full court heave off, Bryler Page able to knock it down. Full court heave, no good. And Baruch are able to get out of here with a W tonight. Start off conference play with a win. Baruch 77, York College 74, and Jamal, what a game, but a little bit of a sketchy ending if you're the Bearcats.
Dave,
you have to. This is a learning experience. You have to know how to finish at this level.
David, if I'm the Bearcats, I'm going to walk away with this game. I'm going to smile. But if I'm Coach Lisi, I'm going to have a talk with my players about the ending of this game, because the York Cardinals had a big opportunity towards the end of this game to close it out, and they had a big charge towards the end, but the Bearcats were able to withstand them, and this game could have went either way.
We talked about at halftime how Baruch had to get to the line. They did that 28 times in the second half. When you only hit 18%, you're not. I'm sorry, you only hit 18 out of 28. Excuse me. That's not a winning formula, and you're talking about 6 to 7 misses down the stretch here to close out the game from your two best free throw shooters in Page and Ekabar.
No, definitely. And if I'm the Bearcats, I'm going to walk away with this win. I'm going to hold my head high and just look to just improve on what was a very close game tonight, because that last couple seconds, it could have went either way. The York College could have came in and potentially won right there. You know, even on that last play where they was able to get that three-pointer to even cut the lead to where they did.
Yeah, to 2.
Yeah, even to cut their lead to 2. And even at that point, you don't give up a three-pointer at that point. But luckily, Bryler Page was able to come down and hit a three-pointer. And that last heave right there, he was wide open. And you never know, with a heave and a throw-up, that could potentially send the game into overtime. But we're glad that the Bearcats were able to come out with the win.
Yeah.
And a great overall game for both the Bearcats, the Bearcats, both the men and the women's team, and they start off the CUNYAC conference 1-0.
What I'm impressed about is you see 40 minutes from Sixsmith. I don't know if he's done that this year. Also, between him and Bryler Page, to come up with 40 points between the two of them, it's just clutch, and it's great because we talked about coming into this game. Where were the points going to come if not from Ekabar? And you know what? The points really didn't come from Chima tonight. He had 11 and 14. Sure, the rebound numbers were there, but he only took 9 shots. I think that's another thing. You need Chima to be taking more than 9 shots on most nights if you're going to win the game.
But if you have a night like this where William Sixsmith and Bryler Page are both going off from three-pointer and very clutch threes down the stretch, at very pivotal moments of the game, you could get away with Chima only putting up 9 shots. He was a little bit off, But he also does what he normally does on the defensive end, getting 14 boards, and as well as 3 assists on the offensive end.
3 steals also.